I'm Grace, 22 years old. 2 weeks ago, I collapsed on stage giving my valedictorian speech in front of 3,000 people. Brain tumor. Emergency surgery needed immediately. They called my parents. No one answered. 3 days later, I woke up to an Instagram post, my entire family smiling at the Eiffel Tower. Caption: family trip in Paris. Finally. Number stress, no drama. Then 65 missed calls appeared. Not because they missed me. Because they needed something. The invisible daughter 4 weeks before graduation. Mom was planning Meredith's engagement party. My older sister's wedding consumed everything. Grace, pick out napkin samples tomorrow. Meredith's busy. I have finals, Mom. You'll manage. You always do. I'd worked 25 hours weekly for 4 years, maintaining a 4.0 GPA, paying my own tuition. Meredith, fully funded by our parents. Mom, can we shop for my graduation dress? Find something online, sweetie. I need to focus on your sister's party. That night, I overheard Mom on the phone. Yes, she's valedictorian. But honestly, the timing's terrible. Meredith's engagement takes priority. Grace understands. She's always been independent. Independent meant forgettable, only Grandpa Howard cared. Grace, do you have everything you need? Your grandmother would be so proud. I'll be front row. And I have a gift she left for you, been holding it for 22 years. The collapse 1 week before graduation, my head pounded constantly. Nosebleeds wouldn't stop. I told myself it was stress. At Meredith's engagement party, I worked 6 hours straight setup, serving, cleaning. Meredith pulled me into the spotlight. This is my little sister Grace. She does everything. She's going to be a teacher wiping noses for a living. Laughter. Oh, and she's graduating. Veils something? Valedictorian? I said quietly. Right. She's the smart one. But smart doesn't buy Louis Vuitton, does it? After the party, Mom announced, we're going to Paris. The whole family. Tyler's treat. When? Next Saturday. My graduation was Saturday morning. Mom, my graduation? I know, sweetie, but the flights were already booked. You don't need us there. You're so self-sufficient. I stared at her, waiting for something to click. Nothing did. Appeared. Grace, your mother and I discussed it. Meredith needs family support. You're strong. You don't need us the way she does. I drove home and cried until I couldn't breathe. Graduation day, I woke to a text. Just landed in Paris. Have a great graduation. Attached was a family selfie at the airport. Rachel, my best friend, picked me up. Grace, you look great. I'm nervous. The campus buzzed with families, balloons, flowers, proud parents everywhere. I tried not to look. Grandpa sat front row, manila envelope in hand. 2 empty seats beside him reserved for family, unclaimed. And now our valedictorian, Grace Donovan. I walked to the podium, found Grandpa. He was beaming. Thank you all for being here. I stand before you because of people who believed in me. The stage tilted. My vision narrowed. Pain exploded behind my eyes, white hot, blinding. I saw Grandpa's horror. Rachel standing. The 2 empty seats. Then nothing. My body hit the floor. Call 911. Someone call her family. They won't answer, I thought. Then darkness. The surgery, Rachel told me later, the ambulance took 14 minutes. At the hospital, CT scan, MRI, grim faces. Brain tumor. We need to operate immediately. Within the hour. We need family consent. Rachel called my parents. Voicemail. Grandpa tried. Dad picked up. We're about to board. Grace collapsed. Brain tumor. Surgery in 40 minutes. Dad, we're taking off. Can you handle it? We'll call when we land. Grandpa's voice turned to stone. Your daughter is having emergency brain surgery and you're asking me to handle it? The flight is 12 hours. By the time we're back, she'd be out of surgery. There's nothing we can do. Douglas, if you get on that plane, don't call me again. He got on the plane. Grandpa signed the consent forms. When they wheeled me to surgery, I had two people my grandfather, and my best friend out my family was 30,000 feet in the air. The truth I woke 3 days later. Grandpa in his graduation suit, asleep in a chair. Rachel on a cot, exhausted. You had a brain tumor, Rachel said gently. They removed it. You're okay. I checked my phone. Instagram showed my family at the Eiffel Tower. Family trip. No stress, no drama. Posted 18 hours ago, not one mention of me, then my phone. Exploded. 65 missed calls from Dad. 23 texts. Call back. Important. We need to talk now. This is urgent. Not when asked how I was. Grandpa showed me the truth. 22 years ago, your grandmother opened a freedom fund for you. Enough to buy a house or start a business. I never told your parents. When you were in surgery, I was angry. I told your father you'd receive everything. That's why they're calling. Not for you, for the money. They came back 5 days later. They burst into my hospital room. Grace, baby, we came as fast as we could. 5 days after I nearly died. Meredith walked in carrying shopping bags. You look better than expected. Anyway, we cut the trip short, so you're welcome. Grandpa arrived. Douglas, your daughter collapsed on stage. The hospital called 47 times. You chose to board anyway. We were on a plane. You were at the gate. I talked to you. Mom stepped forward. This is a family matter. Grace's family. For 22 years, I've watched you treat her like she doesn't exist. Grandpa turned to Dad. When's Grace's birthday? March. No, April. October 5th, 10th, I said quietly. Silence. You flew back because you heard about the money, Grandpa said. Not because you cared. Mom's face crumbled. You want truth? Every time I look at Grace, I see Eleanor, your mother, Hayward. The woman who made me feel worthless for 30 years. Then Grace was born looking exactly like her. That's not my fault, I said. For 22 years, I did everything right. Perfect grades. 3 jobs. I showed up to every event. I did it all because I thought you'd finally see me. But you never would because you only saw her. I looked at Dad, and you watched for 22 years and said nothing. What do you want? Dad asked. I want you to see me as a person. Not a ghost. Not a burden. And if you can't, then I'll mourn the family I wished I had and build a new one. 1 year Letarium in my classroom now, teaching 8th grade English. Dad calls every Tuesday awkward but consistent. Mom sends careful cards. Meredith's in therapy. We text sometimes, but my real family? The ones who showed up. Rachel, Grandpa, my students. A quiet student asked me yesterday, Miss Donovan, did you ever feel invisible? Yes, for a very long time. What did you do? I found people who saw me, and I learned to see myself. I used to think love was something you had to earn. Now I know better. Love is who shows up. Love is who stays. I don't need to set myself on fire to prove I'm worth someone's warmth anymore. I know my worth now, and that's enough. Here's what I learned. You can't earn love from people unwilling to give it. Your real family is determined by who shows up when life gets hard. You're allowed to choose yourself. That's not selfish. That's survival. If you're the invisible one, the forgotten one, I see you. The only approval you truly need is your own.